Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Married into Madness, the podcast where we talk all things in-laws. I'm Allie, joined by Stockton this week. Stock, how are ya?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good.
I'm sure people are probably thinking you did not say Christian.
I did not say Christian.
We have some news, not bad news. Christian had a work thing that he had that he's not able to record this week. So it is just me and Allie. Don't worry, Christian will be back. He's just not able to record this episode.
Still bringing stellar content, though.
We got some good stories. So
Yes, I can't wait.
because it is just you and I, we're going to do infant stories tonight.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love that idea.
I figured that would be good because
Yes.
love Christian. He's probably got a lot of input on this, but he doesn't quite have first-hand experience on some of these. So
Absolutely.
You might have a little bit more of insight on some of these stories.
Yes, I love it. I can't wait.
Ready to get into it?
Yes, let's hear it. What do you have for us?
Okay, story number 1. This one is titled "The Day My Voice Was Silent."
Oh.
A bit of a dramatic title. A little short story. When I gave birth to my first baby, my in-laws showed up at the hospital without calling or notifying me beforehand. I only found out when the nurses knocked on my door to let me know I had visitors. When they came in, they didn't greet me or ask how I was doing. Instead, they took my baby from the bassinet without my permission and started taking pictures. They left just as quickly as they came. To this day, I'm haunted by the fact that I didn't say anything or stop them from holding my child without my consent.
Ooh.
Especially for first-time mother, these are genuine feelings for sure.
No, absolutely. And honestly, oh man. So, okay, I'm trying to gather my thoughts here because I don't know. I hate it. I mean, I definitely would feel very uncomfortable with that, and I feel very fortunate that I didn't have to deal with a situation like that coming from in-laws side or even my own side. Everyone was very you tell us when you want us to come in and see you. You tell us, are we okay to hold the baby? You give us the baby. We're just not going to take the baby from you or wherever he's at.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I feel very fortunate that I had that experience. So I can't imagine. Also, you just have so many emotions and feelings and things just rushing through you. I was scared for my nurses to even, take my baby away from me.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I wasn't scared, but I also was I was given the, option to be "Okay, we can take the baby for you while you're asleep," and I'm like, "No, leave the baby with me in my room."
Yeah.
And, I gave birth in a very small hospital, which, I don't know anything else, but it was, the most amazing experience ever. I loved it. But it was literally me and one other girl in the delivery unit, in
Oh
labor
my
and
gosh.
delivery.
Really small.
Yeah, so really
Oh
small.
my
So,
gosh.
in my head this whole time I had this, "Oh, people mix up babies all the time. What if my baby doesn't come back to me?" But I was like, "Perfect, it's only me and one other girl, and she's still laboring down the hall, so my baby's the only one here."
Especially with your baby, so recognizable, and there was no way you were going to give birth and then be like, this one isn't mine.
Yeah, no,
Yours is very
absolutely.
recognizable. I
But
think
no,
the other thing... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go. You're good.
I was just say, working in healthcare, knowing that, especially first-time moms, the healthcare system kind of does really freak you out about the don't touch your baby, don't let anybody touch, which are all valid because
Yeah,
your babies
absolutely.
can get a lot of nasty viruses and bacteria and all that stuff.
No,
But
for
on the
sure.
other hand, now having 3, it's just kind of like, take this baby because I got to deal with these other 2 kids real quick. So
Right.
things do definitely change. But as a first-time mother with your first kid, just having your in-laws walk in and just take the baby, take the pictures, and then deuce,
No,
it's like, what?
That's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially in the
that's
hospital. She's probably still bedridden. Who knows what kind of a delivery it was.
Well, it
She's
sounds
probably...
like she was, stitched up 5 seconds ago,
Yeah. Still on heavy painkillers, doesn't even know what's going on.
Literally, my doctor had already left after delivering my baby, was walking out the door and told my dad congratulations, like, before he was even in, like, seeing me.
Oh, wow.
So, like, it took a minute for, like, people to come in and see us, so
That's how it should be. All done by what the mother wants for sure.
yeah, well, and, like, you kinda just want that time to, like, kind of just connect the few of you and
Yeah,
just not
you
have
just
to, like,
became a
put on a
family.
show
You
for
don't need
anyone.
the rest of them to come in
Yeah, right.
for
No,
a minute.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I guess let's rate it. What would you rate this in-law?
Oh, it's bad for me.
I'm gonna go middle of the road. I'm gonna go 5 because it sounds like this lady didn't have those talks beforehand, and I wonder
Yeah,
if she would have had those talks beforehand if it would have been different.
yeah. I honestly, I'll probably go 4, maybe 3, just because I hate the situation and I don't ever wanna be in that situation just because I don't know, it's, like, hard because I feel like, yeah, she didn't have the conversation, but does she have to have that conversation?
Very true.
You know? Like,
Very true.
sometimes I just feel like out of respect, like, just wait, but also we know there's those in-laws that there's no respect and boundaries,
Yeah,
so
I will
I
give.
feel
We slam our in-laws a lot, so I'm going to give our in-laws some props right here. In the beginning, I think there was needed to be some boundaries set, but now our in-laws are so good; they literally ask for everything.
yeah,
Even my toddlers now, our in-laws will ask, "Can he have like this piece of candy?" They'll ask for everything. And I'm
which
like,
is
"Yeah,
great.
that's good. Yep, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I honestly, that's how it should be."
and I will say, I can understand why it can be frustrating at first, but I do feel like it is a lot of the time out of excitement for
Yeah,
a new baby.
of course, of course.
So, yeah.
Okay, very good. All right, this next story is called Caregiver Nightmare. We went from the infant, we're going to go to the older kids, and then we're going to
Ooh,
come back to infants.
okay.
My husband's mother and sister agreed to visit for 10 days while my husband and I went on vacation. During the time we're away, my daughter, she's 15, texted me to tell me that my mother in law and sister in law have invited people over and that she and my son, 14-year-old, are the people that they don't know. I asked her if she'd like me to mention it to them to tell them to stop, but she cowered and told me to not say anything. My daughter said that on a weeknight, after a long day of school and sports, she's tired and doesn't like random people over that she can hear downstairs while she's trying to study and get ready for bed. When my daughter complained about it, I could tell she was very upset, but she didn't want to deal with the aftermath of me mentioning it to the mother in law and sister in law in that moment. I felt that it was disrespectful on the part of my mother in law and sister in law to not inform us ahead of time about entertaining individuals in our home while we were away. To add insult to injury, when we got back from vacation and my husband asked his mother and sister who all they invited over, they didn't tell him everyone they had come over. My daughter told me that there were 3 separate visits of 2 people who came over to the house, but my mother in law and sister in law told my husband that there were only 2 separate visits when he asked. In a group chat on the day they left, I wanted to expose them, so I asked them specifically who came over on Labor Day. When they said who it was, my husband asked why they didn't mention the 3rd visit when he asked them before, and they said they forgot. I call BS. So I stated to them that out of respect for us as the homeowners and the parents to not invite people over without our prior knowledge and consent when they are in our home with our kids. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law didn't respond or apologize. I'm feeling disappointed and disrespected, not to mention violated. I feel like they have no concept of how their actions were wrong on so many levels, not the least of which being to keep a safe, secure environment for our children while in our home.
Oh yeah, that one's bad.
That's bad.
I don't love that.
I
No.
would be pissed if I knew that
Yeah.
they invited just random people over.
No, well, when you have your teenage daughter, like, "Hi, mom and dad, you're gone. I don't feel comfortable." Like, can you imagine getting a message like that? Like, say your sweet kids are a little bit older than they are now. I mean, even now they might be like,
Don't feel
"Someone's over,
comfortable.
dad, that
Yeah.
I don't know." You know, like, I would be concerned.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Who and why do we feel like we need to invite people over when you have a job to just watch the kids right now?"
Yep. And on top of that, you being on vacation, it's like you're powerless. You have
Yeah. Oh,
no say or
absolutely.
control over any of it. You're just
Absolutely.
like, hopefully we can deal with it and we'll address it when we get back. And then when you
Yeah.
come back and address it, they lie about it.
Yeah,
Mm.
which that feels like a problem.
Yeah.
I am very glad that, like, even if my parents were going on a cruise or, like, wherever, they always had cell service that we could reach them some way.
Yeah,
So,
that's clutch.
oh, yeah. I mean, I'm glad their daughter could let them know what was going on because honestly, that's one of my biggest fears is that my kids will be in a situation that they won't be able to say they're too young to really explain what's going on
Yeah.
and they can't even tell me. I hate that. So I'm glad at least she was 14 and could explain like, "Hey, this is what's happening in the
But
house."
then
Probably not great with it.
what else sucks is the 15-year-old knew that she was just going to keep it quiet because she knew there was going to be trauma if she were to bring it
Yeah,
up with
she's
them.
like, "Please don't say anything right now to keep my
Yeah.
sanity."
She's like embarrassed, like, oh my, no, don't say anything. I'll be fine. I'll just lock myself
Yeah,
in the
she's
room.
like, "I'll suck it up. You can address it when you're home, please, for the love."
Yeah,
Uh,
for the love,
that's
yeah.
that's another problem, honestly.
Uh huh.
Maybe the 15-year-old is always just as like, "Yeah, I know it's gonna cause issues. Please just keep my
Yeah,
sanity
just,
safe."
yeah. Yeah,
Oh
so we can keep
man,
peace while you're away. Don't say
yeah,
anything.
yeah. Ugh. Because then they would know that she told her
Yep.
parents.
Yeah, how else would they find out? They'd probably
Yeah,
already think that.
right.
Yeah, not
Ugh.
good.
Stock, what are you gonna rate that one?
I'm gonna give that a 3.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
not
right
only
there.
did they invite people over that they really shouldn't have, they lied about having people over.
Yeah, the lying is bad,
I don't like
especially when
that.
it's not your home, not your kids. Lying about the situation, 3, bad,
And
hate
then
it.
just claim that they forgot. I mean,
Yeah.
what?
Oh,
Come
we
on.
forgot. Also, like, who was it? Was it someone that they know they don't like?
Yeah, true. Well, what did she say in there? I feel like she said there were people she didn't know, wasn't it? Random people.
Oh, random people. So it's just people they didn't even know.
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, of course she's gonna be up
It's
in her
even
room.
worse, honestly.
And then she was said it was after a long day of school and sports, she's tired, and then had these
Yeah.
people in. It's like,
Can't even, like, relax in her own house.
yeah,
Oh, poor
poor
thing.
girl. Yeah, I'm giving it 3. What are you giving it?
I'm gonna give you a 3 too.
I like it. Okay. All right. This one is called My Baby.
My baby. Okay. Okay.
Just for reference, my mother in law speaks English pretty well, but says things like close the light instead of turn the light off. Because of how her original language works, that would be the literal translation. Anyhow, she speaks English pretty well. My mother in law sometimes refers to our developing baby as her baby, as in she hugs the onesie we gave her for the announcement and says, My baby. My sister in law says she tries to correct her mom and tell her not to say that because it's not literally her baby. And the mother in law says, I know it's not my baby. We've told her to say it as my grandbaby. I asked my sister in law later if it's just easier for her to say my baby instead of grandbaby, but sister in law had said, Honestly, I don't know, but I'm trying to get her not to say it because everybody's going to think she's crazy. My mother in law has been decent with us through the years and hasn't exhibited a lot of controlling behavior, just the sort of dependency on keeping her adult children like babies. Won't charge them rent, she works full time, but cooks, and does all the cleaning. She also refers to my husband, Jim, as my Jim, for example.
Hi, Jim.
My Jim. Anyhow, I'm not sure whether or not to look at this as cute or a possible red flag. Who's got a similar story? Edit. Thank you all so much for your input. My mother in law has had some issues in the past, like when we first got married, and also recently when my husband told her she would indeed not be in the delivery room with us, which she didn't like. But things have been pretty amicable for most of recent history. Just going to keep an eye on things, but as of right now, I think she's excited for her first grandbaby. There you go. My baby.
My baby. Interesting.
Maybe I'm just weird. I absolutely hate this. I absolutely hate this. This is not your baby.
I am right there with you, honestly. I'm like, if someone was like if you came up to me and you were like, "Oh, give me my baby" to my child, I'd be like,
Yeah.
my baby?
Yeah,
That's my
my
baby.
baby? No, 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 no.
Really
Even
weird.
even the whole justification is that you're my children or my child and this is your child, so therefore that's my baby, my
It's
grandbaby.
my
It's like,
baby.
no, no, no. It
No,
doesn't
it
work
can
like
be your
that.
grandbaby, my grandbaby,
Yeah,
but it's not your baby.
it's not your baby.
That's so weird. Yeah, that's really
Maybe,
interesting.
yeah, maybe we should give them the benefit out and just say that this is a language barrier type thing, but it even seems like the sister-in-law, her daughter is
What
like,
if the sister-in-law
I'm
is,
not
like
sure why she's saying that.
if she's, like, trying to correct it? Like,
Yeah.
she's trying to correct it,
Wow.
and she's still doing it.
Yeah.
Huh.
What's it gonna turn into?
Yeah, I don't know, like, I've never heard anything like this.
I could just see it when the baby gets a little bit older, hitting milestones, the baby's first food or first step stuff like that. She's just gonna be all over this baby, and is just going to
Oh,
probably want
my
to be a
baby's
part of
first
all of those
steps.
moments. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. I have
Yeah,
to be there for my
absolutely.
baby's first step. I have to be there for my baby's first taste of food, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Over
gonna have to
many
be
of
there.
what she
Yeah.
wants to be involved in.
It's
Oh,
like, you know
boy.
what? We can take a video of it and send it to you, but this is kind of our family thing.
No, absolutely. I'm like, there are some things that I think should just stay in the family.
But you and
Like,
I
you
kind of
can
are, we may be different. There's probably people out there who just love having all the family around for all that kind of stuff, and
I mean, I
there's probably people out there.
there for sure is. We know there is. And there's probably someone out there that's like, "Are you kidding me? That is the sweetest thing I've ever heard. I
Yeah,
hope my mother-in-law calls my baby her baby." There's
more
someone out
power
there
to
that's
that
wishing for
person.
it. I
Yeah,
am not
yeah,
that
that's
person wishing.
wanting that to happen. Yeah, not me. Okay, what would you rate this one?
I feel like it could be something so much worse,
Hmm.
but it's also not great, so I feel like I'm gonna go neutral on it, like a 5.
That's probably a safe bet. I'm gonna go with 4 because I'm worried of what's gonna happen in the future. Like if she's already like
I
this
give you
with just the pregnancy, oh,
yeah.
good luck with when you actually have the kid.
Yeah, that's true.
Because then, oh, the other thing I'm thinking about, when the baby poops or when the baby gets fussy, she's gonna be like, "Give me my baby. Let me change them or
Oh,
let me calm them." It's like, get out of
no.
here.
See, that's something I would have a problem with because when my baby cries, like, and he's with someone else, I just, like, want him back to me, and sometimes people don't give him back to me,
Yep.
and I'm like, "Ah, I have anxiety. My child's
Give me
crying.
my
Give him
baby.
to me.
Yeah.
Give me my baby."
Give
Yeah.
me my baby. Okay, last story. You ready?
Let's hear it.
This one's called No Boundaries.
No boundaries.
The first sentence on this one isn't even involved in the story, but it's just wild. My mother-in-law shared private ultrasound photos on social media. That's the only sentence,
Oh,
but then it goes on to the rest of the stuff. My
oh.
in-laws called to say they were 5 minutes away from the hospital when I was 5 minutes out of a C-section. They refused countless times to wash their hands before holding my fresh baby and gave us an attitude wearing masks before her vaccinations. They couldn't accommodate us on Christmas and come to our home to see our newborn, but instead lied and said my husband's grandmother was dying. She's not, so we would go to their house for Christmas.
Oh,
The mother in law, that one's crazy. My mother in
that
law
is
kissed
gnarly.
My mother-in-law kissed my daughter once, and when we told her we weren't allowing that, she blocked us for 2 months. And when my husband finally rekindled things, she refused to hold my daughter, despite my baby reaching for her. It seemed like she was punishing her. This was the turning point for me. They've posted unflattering photos of me and posted photos of my daughter on Facebook without permission, and this is the hot button that keeps getting pushed. They met our 5.5-month-old for the fifth time, and posted photos again. Made the photos their cover and profile photos. My husband asked his mother to remove the photos. She's ignoring him. The mother has a convicted pedophile brother who she refuses to disown, and I'm just
Ah,
fuming. So I've
ah,
always let my husband handle my in laws at this point. I'm about to
it just
go
gets worse. Ah,
berserk as she continues to ignore him. Wow, that's a lot.
that was like that was packed full of situations.
It's like 17 stories in 2 paragraphs.
Oh my word. Okay.
So Let's take it one by one. The very first sentence: my mother-in-law shared private ultrasound photos on social media.
Oh, okay.
The second that any sort of little baby thing gets put online, you've got to shut that down right away and be like, "We're not doing this,"
Yeah. Well,
or
the
just allow what you're willing to allow.
right. Well, like these days especially because I feel like our world is just so sketchy. Like like for me, I used to have like a public Facebook, Instagram account, everything. But the second I had a baby and started posting pictures of him, I was like, I shut that down quick.
Shut it down.
Private
Yeah,
and unfollowed, had like so many people unfollow me because I was like, okay, I have weird accounts that have followed me because I've been public for public for so long. And just
sure.
people that I don't talk to, I'm like, I don't need you seeing my baby.
I like that.
Ugh.
The other thing that I've heard, which is a good idea, is making like a separate account for
Yes,
like not necessarily your child, but to
but like your
to post stuff
family.
about your child. Yeah, yeah, and then just make it private and just have those people part of that account. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I do like that idea. Also, I like don't post things of me and my children without permission. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel indifferent, I guess, about myself. Like if you want to post about me, like make sure it's a decent picture. There's been a picture posted of me once or twice that's not the most flattering. That's been like, it's
like
fine.
okay, thank you.
Removes tag of myself. Just kidding.
Yeah,
But like the child, I feel like that's like a boundary that like you should probably ask your parents. It's not your own child to be posting whenever you want.
yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely,
definitely I think especially because they could have people that maybe you don't want seeing your child.
absolutely.
I don't
In-laws said they were 5 minutes
that's
away from the hospital when they were 5 minutes out of a C-section. Give it some time to breathe.
yeah, that's bad.
Wait for
I
the
hope they weren't
invite.
in there 5 minutes after.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Refuse to wash their
that's
hands before holding the baby. That one drives me nuts. Because that
yeah.
means that they asked them to wash their hands and they're just like, nah, we'll be fine.
Oh, for sure. Like when I first had my baby, I mean, I feel like everyone was pretty good about it anyways. But if not, like I just had hand sanitizer. And like don't get me wrong, it's awkward to ask people to like wash their hands and like put hand sanitizer on because you don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. But you're like, no, like you gotta get over it at some point as a parent and be like, okay,
Yep.
wash your hands, get your sanitizer on. But if someone's not like respecting that, you can be like, okay, well, you don't get to hold my baby at all then.
Yeah. But all it takes is two or three times to be like, whenever you want to hold the baby, oh, just hand sanitizer. And then it just becomes so habitual that it's not even awkward anymore. It's just like, yeah, it's just what you do.
Yeah. Like my sweet nephews, every time they want to hold the baby, they literally run to the sink, wash their hands. I wash my hands first. I wash my hands first.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
See,
okay,
that's
good.
awesome.
So like they know. Yeah,
Turn it
it's
almost into
good.
a game.
Yep, absolutely.
Them claiming that the grandmother was dying, so they would go to their house for Christmas.
Okay, I feel like people that do that, that's gotta be bad juju. If you ever bring someone's health into something, like, oh, they're dying, you gotta come over here. They're gonna die. You better watch out. Careful what you
That's
say.
something. That's something you say when you have a new job and you need like a sick day or something, saying your grandmother's dying. Not this.
Yeah,
That's
no,
crazy.
that is crazy. That's really crazy.
The mother-in-law blocking them because they um wouldn't let her see her, and then she refused to pick her up when the baby reached for her. That's just sad.
That is sad, especially, like, if a baby's reaching towards you, you're like, "Okay," like, they want you to hold them.
Yeah,
Like, that's you, like,
that's your
hurting your
grandbaby.
relationship with the baby.
Yeah, that's only hurting yourself and your relationship. You're absolutely right.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, that one's really sad. I don't love that.
And then
Is this next one
what
the
are you?
bad one?
Yeah, the
I mean,
convicted.
they're all
We
bad,
shouldn't be
but I
laughing.
hated this one.
I don't mean to laugh either. The
It's
mother
not
has a
funny, but
convicted pedophile brother who she refuses to disown. I don't blame her for that. Like, if he's a pedophile, you're not going to just disown your family, though.
if oh, Stock, I'm gonna be real here. If you were a convicted pedophile, I can't say I would want any part of you, especially where I have my own children.
That's fine. And I'm not defending the pedophile. I'm just saying this is the mother's brother. So
Yeah,
you
which I do
can't.
get, which that is really hard. I
Yeah,
say that, but at the same time, it would be really hard because obviously you are someone we love so much. And like if it was my brother, someone we love so much again, or even like an uncle or a dad, anyone, I can't imagine how hard that would be. And
yeah.
obviously you don't know how it is until you've been through it.
But you don't
Oof.
necessarily have to disown him. But we're not
Right.
letting him around everybody else.
Yeah, no. You're like,
If you don't
"Mom,
want to disown him, you can go visit him
you can go
still, though.
visit, but he's not coming to us.
He's not coming
Sorry."
around. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
no. And if he's coming around, I'm not coming around.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know when he's around. And I'll
Yeah,
be
for
there.
sure. Can you imagine you just show up and Uncle
Whoever.
I don't even want to give him a fake name because I could really offend anyone.
Uncle P, short for never mind. Pedophile.
Okay. Yeah, no, bad.
No good.
Wow, that's so many stories.
Yeah, so many stories. I'm glad we got one because sometimes we've gotten these stories where there's like so much left to decide where it's at, so vague that this one has just
Right.
peppered us with stories. Do do do.
Yeah, it's like packed full of bam, bad, bam, bad, bam, bad. It's all bad.
Yeah, you can almost feel that this is just years of stuff piling up on this
It's
lady.
years of it's really, yeah. I'm so sorry, lady, if this is your story. Stories.
Man,
I'm sorry if this is your
y-
life.
are you and I just brutal or what? Because I feel like normally we have some sixes or sevens in there. You and I have both been like two, three, four
Yeah,
on all these
2,
stories.
3, 4.
They just
Which,
probably hit a little too close to home
I
with these
mean,
ones.
they hit close. When you have kids, I feel like anyone that has kids can relate and be like, no, bad.
Yeah,
Or people that have been through it are like,
yeah.
yeah, that was a terrible experience. I hated that.
So what would you give this one?
I think I'm going like 4.
Yeah, I'm going three. This one's just
Yeah.
no good. Refuses to listen. Lies about the grandmother's dying.
Yeah, the
And then
grandma dying
refuses to
is
have a
bad.
relationship with the grandkid because she's still holding a vendetta against the parents. Come on.
Yeah, which you know what? That actually, can I change to a 4?
Yeah.
I mean, to a 3. I said 4. Changing
From
to
your
a
four
3.
to a three. Yeah.
From my 4 to a 3.
hmm Don't like that.
Don't like it at all. Way too sad.
Okay, those are our infant stories. We definitely have more, so we'll probably do another infant baby pregnant. Oh, pregnancy. Pregnancy is probably going to be the next one.
Pregnancy is good.
There's a lot of
That,
pregnancy stories out there.
yes. And that's something that we still can really relate to here.
hmm
It was not too long ago.
Earlier this year, in fact,
Yep, just a
still
few
pregnant.
short months ago.
Yeah.
Did
So
did
if
I just hear
anybody,
did I just hear
what?
still pregnant?
No, what? No,
Oh.
still pregnant. No.
Oh, I'm like, "Do you have news for us?
Oh my
Did you get
gosh,
your
no.
wish stock?"
We're having a boy. No, no. Still have plenty of restless nights with a very, very new newborn.
Yes, absolutely. Are you guys going through sleep regression at all?
Yes, but that's because our baby tested positive for RSV.
Oh, no, she didn't.
Yeah, so we're done with that. But luckily, it's been super mild, so it hasn't been too serious.
Okay,
Um,
what were the signs?
the first night that it really hit her, she had a very barky cough, and you could
Oh,
tell she was kind of struggling to breathe.
poor
So we did the
thing.
whole humidifier in the room, air purifier in
Yeah.
the room, kept her a little elevated. She
You
fed.
guys still keep her in your room with you?
Yeah, especially when she's sick like that, for sure,
Yeah.
because she's up so often.
Right.
And then she's just got like a really deep voice and really snotty
Oh,
nose, and she had a fever.
sad. Oh, poor baby. I'm so
And
sorry.
then I think it hit our others. Our other two kids have had runny noses and a little bit of a cough,
Oh,
but
you
been
guys
super
better get
mild.
feeling better. We're supposed to
Yeah,
see you in a week.
I know. We got to get together for Christmas next week. Yeah, we should be good. Our
Yeah.
baby's already doing better. Fever's gone. She's sleeping better.
Poor
So
thing.
I get hit us for
That's
2 or
so
3 days.
that's so scary. That's honestly our biggest fear, being a new mom. Did any of your other kids get RSV?
Mm-mm. Nope. They they had they had other infections when they were younger that took them out with high fevers and stuff, but not tested positive for RSV.
Oh, poor baby. Well,
Yeah,
that's sad. I'm
but we'll
so
get them
sorry.
good before we come visit.
Yes, we can't wait to see you guys.
Okay, so if anybody has pregnancy stories, infant stories, kid stories, send them because we'll probably
Yes,
do
we
another
should
one of
put a
these
call
episodes
out for
soon.
that. Not only
Yeah.
here on the pod, but on the Instagram.
Yes.
So
Hit us up.
send us your stories. Pregnancy stories, so good.
Oh, so good.
So good.
They're so funny because
Funny.
then it's like, oh, we're having a baby, but then there's these red flags with the in-laws. That's like, oh crap,
Uh-huh.
what's this going to go now that we're gonna have a baby?
Absolutely,
Very fun.
absolutely. All right,
Okay,
Stockton, thanks so
Allie.
much for the stories tonight.
See you next week.
We'll see you next week. Bye.